So we're just very, very glad, very excited to round up our anniversary in a buttery way, because having him in our midst, I mean, and it was not so easy for us to get him. And he's a father, because at the dying minute when we just ran to him and said, we need you to come in, and he's here in our midst to, I mean, do justice to this session. So I'd like to share my screen at this time and then run through his profile. Yes, so reading the profile of Mr. Ohio-Omonkhomion. He is a visionary leader. He's a trailblazer and visionary leader whose passion for innovation and teamwork, coupled with a relentless drive to keep winning, has helped him deliver large-scale projects with profound love for technology and business strategy. Audia has forged an extraordinary career spanning from telecommunications, IT, finance, and oil and gas, pioneering change at every step of his journey. From prestigious roles at global powerhouses like PricewaterhouseCoopers, PwC UK, Deloitte UK, and Vodafone UK, to his current entrepreneurial ventures. What his path reflects his unyielding commitment to excellence, armed with a master's degree from the University of Sussex, England, and an executive MBA from the world-renowned IE Business School in Madrid. Odia seamlessly combines academic rigor with real-world impact to transform challenges into opportunities. He is a fearless leader. Odia's professional journey is defined by fearless leadership and innovation. At Vodafone UK, he spearheaded groundbreaking big data integrity projects, safeguarding the trust of over 20 million customers. His ability to navigate complexity and deliver outstanding results made him the go-to leader for solving difficult problems. I said that earlier. At Deloitte UK and PwC UK, Odia further honed his leadership skills, managing high-value projects, leading diverse teams, and driving transformative change across industries. His career is a testament to the power of vision and perseverance. A balanced life, ambition, and heart. An entrepreneur at heart, Odia's work and influence goes beyond the corporate world. He is the managing director of Maximind Me Limited, a strategy and management consulting firm. Beyond his remarkable achievements, Odia is deeply committed to uplifting others. He dedicates himself to mentoring young minds, inspiring them to dream big and achieve their full potential. His role as an inspired speaker and business coach has made him a guiding light for aspiring leaders. Odia's life is a balance of ambition and art. A chess enthusiast, avid reader, and devoted family man, he embodies the values of curiosity, passion, and connection. He's happily married to Dr. Ohio-Omonkhomion, and together they are blessed with 3 incredible sons who fuel his drive to create a legacy of impact. Through his words and actions, Odia embodies a living legacy, inviting those who hear him to imagine new possibilities, embrace challenges, and create their own extraordinary stories. His life's journey is a powerful reminder that success is not just measured by accolades, but by the lives you touch and change you inspire. I want us to put our hands together, or you can use the emoji and bring to the microphone our leader, an exceptional transformative leader, Mr. Ohio-Omonkhomion. Good evening, sir. It's a great pleasure to have you in our midst this evening. And we cannot just round our anniversary off without having this session. We really thank you for having us. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much, and thank you for giving me such a great introduction and the privilege to speak um, at the event. So thank you so much. Thank you to the leadership of Brains and Butter. Thank you to my dearly beloved wife, my beautiful brains and beauty. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I just want to check if you can all see my screen before I kick off. All right, fantastic. Thank you. Okay,
Yes,
so
we can.
all right, thank you very much. Okay, so where I'd like to start with is a story about a popular face. I think Malala is a face that is now known around the world. But just want to say a few things about her, and then we'll dive into the topic for today. And I don't know how high flyers are on the call, but just want them to know that you are in for a good time, an inspiring time for the next 15 to 20 minutes. All right, so the topic obviously is mastering the art of strategic thinking for educational success. Um, and I've chosen Malala because she personifies what that perseverance that is required to push from almost no beginnings or low beginnings to a place of prominence, overcoming challenges on the way, which is what the educational discipline typically is about. It's called discipline for a reason because you really have to push through a number of hurdles, challenges until you get that prized possession of maybe a degree or new knowledge that can be applied into different parts of society. Okay, so the girl Malala Yousafzai, she was born in 2008. And she was just only 15 years old when she stood up to oppression that was taking place in her native country of Pakistan. Now, the Islamic Taliban movement had taken control of um, her school, and they had burned down a number of girls' schools in that place. But this young 15-year-old girl stood up against a very powerful opposition and pushed for education to be available for not just herself, but also for every child in that community and around the world. And she went on to win, obviously, the Nobel Peace Prize for education. But what you may not realize is that her success wasn't just due to courage. She was very strategic. Malala employed a lot of strategic thinking, and that helped her go from a place where no one knew about her to a place where she is now a household name in the world, even winning a Nobel Peace Prize. So what did she do? Once she identified her mission, she knew what she wanted. She was fighting a very big opposition, almost like the David and Goliath story. So she knew by herself alone, she wasn't powerful enough to get her message, you know, to the right places. So she made sure that she built global support. She positioned herself in such a way that everyone started telling the story of Malala. Everybody was saying something about her. She helped to shine light on what was taking place in her home country. She used every platform that was available to amplify her cause. And so Malala's story teaches us that with determination, with strategic thinking, you can really turn dreams into achievements. You can overcome challenges, right? And become a champion in the place where you have previously been challenged. So if you are in a place or in a position, either because your country has some setbacks, maybe financially or economically, or you are in a place where you even think that you are educationally challenged, don't take your challenge as the end of the story, but rather take your challenge, face your challenge strategically, and turn your challenge into making you a champion. Another thing about Malala is that she eventually came to the UK, studied um, at Birmingham, England, and then earned a degree in Oxford University, graduating in 2020. So she actually now is an Oxford alumni, right? So she has shown that your background shouldn't be a blocker to achieving your goals, right? And then if you look a little bit further, her surname is not one that easily is recognizable or identifiable, right? So she didn't come from a place where you think, oh, she's got this powerful surname, and so that was what opened doors for her. No, the girl got up and was ready to win. And strategy really is all about winning, finding the how to win. Okay, so I will I was also want to make a core statement here before we jump in, that it's also important as part of strategy to set goals. With strategy, it's about setting a goal and then taking some steps backwards to find out, how do I navigate towards that goal? So planning then comes into place, goal setting, planning, and then not just planning, but having what we will call SMART plans or SMART goals. Okay, I know SMART is an acronym that is used a lot, but I just thought I'll mention it just so we're aware. I would like to drop a thought-provoking fact here. And this is something I picked up from the American Psychological Association. And it is that students who set specific and challenging goals for themselves are up to 90% more likely to achieve higher grades compared to those who don't. So for our students, if you start by setting a challenging goal, not a goal that is just easy to achieve, but a goal that is higher than what you think you can achieve. Again, think about David and Goliath scenario. Okay, something that is high, that you would need to really push yourself to achieve. That gives you an internal drive, because now you have something bigger, something bolder, something really like a big, massive hard target to get, and then you push towards it. And the American Psychological Association has said students who do that, who set very specific and challenging goals, end up getting, are more likely to achieve them, and they get 90% more. 90% of them are more likely to have higher grades compared to those who don't set any goals. So I think it's a good point to ask a very simple question. Have you ever stopped to think how much further you could go if you didn't just work just very hard, but also you worked hard and you worked smart? Okay, so there is one thing to really work very hard, that's great, but then the other part that makes you now shine, takes you to the next level, is adding strategy or working smart to your working hard. All right, so I'll tell you a quick tale of two students, Daniel and Aisha in this case. Daniel and Aisha are both brilliant, yeah, hardworking. They're dreaming of top universities. They want to achieve, great things. when you have a great desire, a great goal, but you don't back it up with activities that are strategic and hard work and strategy, you end up just having just wishful thinking. It's just like a pipe dream. So Aisha and Daniel both worked hard. At the end of the day, Aisha wins a full scholarship. But Daniel, despite all the hard work he did, which was equal to what Aisha did, he faced rejection and uncertainty, and he didn't get in. Why? Again, it comes back to the theme of strategy. Daniel worked hard, but he didn't plan ahead. He applied late, right? He rushed his personal statement. So when he was writing his personal statement, he rushed it. When you rush anything, no matter how good you are, you don't bring out the best. Okay? No matter how good you are, if you rush anything that you're supposed to bring out creativity into, you don't bring out your best. Aisha, on the other end, had thought strategically. So once she had researched universities early, she sought guidance from mentors. She crafted out standout personal statements. She applied for scholarships on time. So Aisha didn't just work hard; she worked smart. Again, this is the power of strategic thinking. It's all about what steps do I need to put in place so that I could achieve the goals that I have set for myself. So the first thing is goal setting. Then the second is having those clear plans, those clear steps that you need to take towards achieving your goals. All right. And in the story I started with, I said Malala put together she had global support. That was part of her strategy. All right. She had global support. She used platforms. Okay. She used platforms. She connected with people that could amplify her cause. She became a household name. And so suddenly, that very massive giant, that massive challenge became smaller, as her global support grew bigger and bigger and bigger. Suddenly, she became the champion of that story. Again, it comes down to strategy. So we have to always make sure that we think effectively, strategically, we plan, put together effective steps, and then execute. Because having good thoughts, having great plans, but zero execution will still give you zero, will not give you the desired results. Okay? So, the big question, what is strategic thinking? So, a number of things. First one is strategic thinking is related to critical thinking. So, at the beginning, I had said that strategy as a body of knowledge is all about finding ways to achieve your goals, finding ways to win. All right. So, if you have a target, if you have a goal, finding a way, thinking about what you would do under different scenarios, what you would do, what you would change, what you would tweak to achieve your desired goal. That's what strategy is about. Okay, so strategic thinking involves critical thinking, being able to anticipate challenge, being able to think about what could go wrong. Now, if that scenario that you think about occurred, because you've thought critically, you can then provide a solution. You have thought about, if this were to happen, this is what I would do. So when that scenario comes up, you are not knocked out. Instead, you use it as a stepping stone to climb higher. All right. So strategic thinking involves critical thinking. It also involves the ability to effectively plan. All right. So this involves being proactive. Again, just like the ability to anticipate challenges. So not just anticipating the challenges, but putting, seeing the bigger picture, being able to see not just, tunnel vision, not just only what concerns you, but look at the wider picture. And if we go back to the Malala story, the Malala story shows us that she did not just look at it as, oh, my school has been burnt down. My local environment is on fire. There is chaos where I am, and that's it. No, she took it to the global stage. She saw the bigger picture, that if a school in my local country has been burned down because it's a girls' school, this can spread. This could happen in many other countries, and soon we will have a much bigger problem. So she took what would have looked like a small local problem, she took it to the big stage. She looked at the bigger picture. Now that's a strategic thinker, because suddenly she made other people in the world think about it from, if this happened in that country, what if it happened in my country? What will I do? So it was no longer just only Malala fighting. It was now the whole world, fighting against this, saying this can't happen. And really and truly, she was able to win the battle. So being proactive and being able to see the bigger picture, being able to take action. So being proactive is to take action before something has even happened. All right. So before this became a global problem or a wider problem, before it started spreading into other communities or other countries, she stepped forward. That's being proactive. Reactive is something has already happened and I'm thinking, okay, now this problem has happened, what do I do? But then she took a different approach, which is, before it happened, I'm already taking action. And that's what a strategic thinker does. The other thing is being adaptable. As a strategic thinker, you have to have adaptability. You have to be able to work with the twists and turns of life. You have to be able to adapt to change. So change is constant. We know that. And we also live in what we call a VUCA society, or even now called the Bani society, where things are so brittle and you can't really, things are very unpredictable now. The world is changing at such a fast pace. And so, again, if she just, couldn't adapt, so bear in mind that she was coming from a background in Pakistan, but then had to, as part of, overcoming a challenge, had to move over to England. Of course, she would have probably faced a culture shock. She would have seen, things being done differently from where she was coming from. What I'm sure she was able to find a way to adapt and excel in her local school, such that she was able to move all the way into a very, very, premium university in the School of Oxford, right? So she had adaptability. Being able to adapt to change is something that comes from strategic thinkers. All right. And then the final one I would like to point out is problem solving. Being able to find that beautiful balance between solving a problem and utilizing logical analysis. All right. Because if you have a problem and you go into, panic mode and you're just like, oh, hyperventilating, you're not helping the situation. You are amplifying the problem. In fact, the problem is becoming bigger and bigger, and you are becoming smaller and smaller. And so, looking again at the David and Goliath scenario, if you are trying to solve a problem, try and find ways to make that problem look smaller and smaller, and you make yourself become bigger and bigger by, employing strategy. For Malala, she went to the global stage. They were fighting her locally, she went global. That knocked out the enemy. That knocked out her challenger. All right. So that's something that you have to bring to your education. You have to bring strategic thinking. All right. Strategic thinking is core, is right, left, up and down. It's center of a successful educational journey. Okay. So let's move on to the three superpowers of strategic thinkers. And I've already touched on some of these things, but I'll go a little bit further. Now, one of them is big picture vision. You see the big picture. You are not short-sighted. You are long-sighted. You can see the next 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now. And so you are planning with that in mind as a young person. You are thinking, wow, I've got the advantage of time. I am 15, I'm 18, I am 20. I've got time ahead of me. So I need to start planning what I would like to do in X, Y, Z time. All right? So knowing where you want to go is core. Knowing the career path you want to go. Asking questions on that journey. If you were going to, go on a journey, the first thing I believe you would want to do is you would know where you are going to, right? Oh, I'm taking a flight to Mexico. So you know where you're going to, you know you're going to Mexico. And then you start thinking, so now I'm going to go to Mexico. What do I need to do? Then you start planning those steps. So a superpower of a strategic thinker is that big picture thinking, that big picture vision. They see more than just their classroom. They are not tied to the four walls of their classroom thinking, oh, I just need to write this exam, understand how calculus works, and that's it. They start thinking, how will I apply calculus? And they start asking those questions to the teacher. How am I going to use calculus in so and so and so career? They start asking those questions because then it goes from now not just being a theoretical experience, but it becomes so practical in their mind, right? It's so experiential in their mind because they can see it. And the world belongs to those who can see what others can't. All right? And you see, the big shakers of industry, the big shakers of academics, the big shakers of the world are those who have seen something that others have not seen. And so they are running towards that thing. They are creating something that others haven't seen. And then when it comes, when they have downloaded it from the unseen to the seen, we call it innovation. Oh, we're like, whoa, these guys are creative. Yes, they are, because they have big picture vision. They are seeing beyond the blockers. Don't let the classroom walls become a blocker to you and you can't see beyond the classroom. Don't let the curriculum become a blocker to you that, oh, we're just told to just read these 15 topics and that's it. Think about how those 15 topics connect to the 50 other topics that are all around that subject matter. That's how a big vision thinker thinks. And it will show when you even write exams or when you speak about that topic. It will show because you will be talking things that are over and above the curriculum. Another superpower of a strategic thinker is smart goal setting. Because strategic thinkers, they set goals that are smart. They don't set goals that are, unrealistic, because they understand that for each small win that they have, it gives them strength to go to the next level. If I take, again, a lesson from the Bible, from David and Goliath. David first killed lions and bears, smaller goals, before he went to the level where he could kill a Goliath, bigger goals. Before he could go to the level where he became king, even bigger goals. So strategic thinkers have realized that life is in steps and stages. It's like a ladder. You have to go from one step to the other step, but each step you take takes you higher. And so they don't set unrealistic goals. They set achievable goals, because when they win, when they get to that first step and celebrate, they have the fuel and the energy to go to the next level. So they set smart goals. They set goals that are specific, so that when they get there, they know we've got there. They set goals that are measurable, so they can measure whether they are on track to hit that goal or not. They set goals that are achievable, so that they don't set up themselves for failure. They set goals that are realistic, that this goal makes sense. And then set goals that have a time bound. So it's not just, I will achieve this in infinity time. And the final superpower of strategic thinkers is adaptability. When things don't go according to plan, they adjust. It's like you're driving in a car and the sat nav is telling you turn right, but at that point you are distracted and you mistakenly turn left. Let me tell you, all the sat nav does, it just says recalculating. It just finds the next route to take you back on course. That's how strategic thinkers think. If things don't go according to the initial plan or goals they have set, they find a way to get back on course. They don't see it as the end. They don't see failure as an end. They see failure as a teacher. Failure is just feedback. In fact, failure teaches you so much. It teaches you what not to do. It teaches you how to do things differently. I'm sure you've heard the famous story of Thomas Edison, who, you tried to make the light bulb. He tried so many times. But each time he tried, he got closer and closer to success, because he had eliminated one of the ways of not achieving success. So failure is a teacher. It's not an end. It's a route to the journey, or a route to the journey, as my American friends would say. So these are the three superpowers of strategic thinkers. Now let's go to let's just dive a little bit into how to study smart and not just study hard, because this is, we're talking about strategy here, right? And we have said at the beginning, it's not just working only just hard. You should work hard, yes, I agree. But in addition to working hard, you have to find techniques, you have to find strategic ways to turn your outputs and outcomes to become greater than your inputs. All right? Just like an amplifier, what you put in gets amplified and you get a bigger outcome. Okay, so strategy is that amplifier that amplifies your input so that you now get an outcome that is bigger than every other person who was putting the same input. So see strategy as an amplifier. So for those who, for our students, high flyers here, one of the ways that you can make your studying experience a more strategic one is the use of active learning. All right. Now with active learning, I remember growing up then, we used to have little books called key points. All right. Those little key point books, I remember in secondary school, where a very massive textbook, I can remember one now called P.N. Okeke. I can't remember the actual topic, but the author was P.N. Okeke, right? You have a small book that summarizes all the key points, and you will read those key points, and it will bring to your mind everything that you are read in the massive book. That was a good exam preparation technique, a good way to get myself ready for exam. And just talking about exams here, one way to make sure that you smash exams successfully, it's an open secret. Do all the past questions you can see. It's as simple as that. Seriously, Every past question you can lay your hand on that topic, answer it, solve it, put yourself under exam conditions and solve. You will be in a very good advantage when it comes to the exam. Another good way to help, as a study technique is, or under active learning, is creating mind maps, where you create an imagery or something or a picture and you attach them to certain knowledge points, creating a mind map. Another method is the Feynman technique, which basically, after learning a very difficult concept, you try and explain it back as though you were explaining to a very young person. You explain it in very simple terms. It helps your brain to demystify the complexity of that topic. When you hear some topics, you're like, oh, what is calculus? Oh, what's integration, differentiation? Oh, what's, organic biology? Oh, I'm sorry, organic chemistry. All these things are not mysterious. When you learn the concept, try and explain it back to yourself or to someone else in simple terms. All right. I'm going to fast track now because of time. Prioritize what matters most. You focus on key extracurriculars that will give your CV a richer view. All right. Build your profile, build your CV, build your strengths. This is very important. This is something that made Tiger Woods really excel. He had a unique swing, and that was his strength. And he worked on that until he became too good at it that he was beating everyone. But the things that were his weakness, he sort of just leveled them up. So think about strengths as mountains and weaknesses as valleys. Just level up your valley so it becomes flat. So it's no more a drop point where you drop points, right? But your strengths, make them so big that everybody knows that you are so good at it. And that's such a good technique, because if you become so good at one thing, people imagine that you're good at every other thing. So that's a way you can build a personal brand as a high flyer. If you're so super good in calculus, become so good in that particular topic, or in maths or in physics, because so good that it even reinforces your ability to learn other things. Because you tell yourself, if I could learn this, I'm sure I can find a way to understand that other complicated topic or subject matter. The next one is some strategic study techniques. There is spaced repetition, again, using like flashcards. There's active recall. I'm not going to go into that. And then when reading a textbook or reading something new, you can use the SQ3R method, which is basically have a quick survey or skim through, then make questions up in your mind that you try and find the answers to while reading that textbook. Then you try and recite what you have read, say it out aloud, and then review what you have read. Okay, I hope that's helpful. And I'm going to say run through the next few slides in 2-3 minutes. As a high flyer, it's important that you choose the right path. Okay, so ask yourself, remember we talked about goal setting at the beginning. Where do I want to go? So where do I want to go is a core question. What career do I want to pursue? If you have that in mind, start asking the right questions now. And so start asking the right questions now. All right. And then you ask yourself, what are your strengths? I talked about Tiger Woods' unique swing. What are your strengths? If you are very strong in a certain area, really hone on that. There's no point struggling in something when you are really super good, naturally gifted in something. Again, I believe that once you work on the things that you're really strong at, it can even help you lift up the places that you think you are weak at. All right. And then if there are scholarship opportunities, start early and start finding out those opportunities. Then again, as a high flyer, please make smart decisions. See setbacks as learning opportunities. I said to you that failure is not an end. It's not an end. It's a detour, and you just need to come back to your original plan. and have plan A, plan B, and even a plan C. So if something changes, tweak slightly, okay? Don't think it's the end of the world. Find a way to get back to your plans, and then seek guidance from mentors. Don't go on the journey alone. Okay, so three biggest mistakes that people have made, which you shouldn't make because you are part of this community, is one, if people not having clear goals. If you don't have a goal, then you're not going anywhere. All right. So if you have no goal, then you are going nowhere. Have a clearly defined goal. Don't have short-term thinking. I've said to you already, don't let the classroom walls be blockers to your vision. See bigger, wider than your classroom. Think beyond the next exam. Don't think, oh, I just have to pass my CEs, that's all, and that's all to life. No, you've got a lot more to do. Start thinking, okay? And don't do it alone. Find a mentor, join strong networks like the High Flyer community. Join those networks, and you will be glad that you did. You will find like-minded people and mentors who can take you on that journey. In conclusion, success is not happenstance. It's not luck. It's about strategy. As I've said to you, the hard work you put in, when you add strategy, it is like an amplifier, and it gives you a massive, massive result, bigger than the inputs that you made. And according to Abraham Lincoln, a very successful American president, he said the best way to predict the future is to create it. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for having me. I hope this has been useful to someone. I hope this has been useful to our high flyers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that amazing, amazing presentation. And honestly, we have both parents and high flyers on the call, and I could just tell that even our parents, myself included, were really plugged in and learning so much, just even for life generally. I especially loved the bit of Malala was fought locally, but she fought back globally. And it reminded me of when Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. So many amazing gems. Thank you so much, sir. That was so, so impactful. We have one question in the chat box, and I'll read that question. The chat room is also um buzzing as well. And then I will ask my question, and that would be it for today. Okay, so the question says, you mentioned that strategy is about winning. How can students position themselves to win in highly competitive spaces?
I think that's a really good question. And I think the key word there is about positioning. How do they position themselves to win a highly competitive place? I think it's about finding what you are really good at. All right. If I know that my strength is in STEM, then I should compete in the area of STEM. If I start competing in arts and music or something else, I may be seen as an average student. All right. So find out what you are naturally good at or what your strength is, and start honing it. And that's where you should compete.
Thanks a lot, sir. We have another question in the chat room, and it says, what role does mentorship and networking play in strategic success?
So mentoring already, I mean, with mentoring, you get that opportunity of guidance of someone who's walked that path before you, and so the person can guide you and show you, help you to avoid certain mistakes that you would have made, and potentially slowed your path to success. So mentors will take you hand in hand through that journey. And with networking, you are better positioned to succeed if you are in a community, especially a community of like minds. So with networking, it's all about being part of a community. If you come into a room where everybody is so energetic and so academic and they want to push, or they're so sporty, you would most likely, feed off that energy and yourself push yourself to be like the group that you're in. So if you're networking, especially with the right people, that will push you in the right direction.
That is so true. And that's exactly why the high flyers community exists, really. I remember whilst in university, it was actually the Christian Union that was my community. And if there was something like high flyers, I would have absolutely loved to be a part of it. Of course, I was friends with my classmates, right? But that wasn't necessarily like a community, an organized community like the Christian Union was for me. So honestly, being a part of a community strengthens one's, should I say, chances of just being successful, being supported, and just doing really well because you're not doing this by yourself. So my question will be about distractions and social media. So for many of us, when we were in university, when we're studying, parents of this current generation, because we've got some parents on the call in addition to our high flyers, we didn't have the distraction that is social media, that is WhatsApp, that is your phones and all the gadgets. So in many ways, I think it was easier for us to just focus, and being bored was okay because we would just get busy studying and reading on encyclopedia with books. But young people these days, once they get a device, honestly, the distractions are endless. How can they manage those distractions such that they don't become less of an attraction, as it were?
Interesting question. I was actually having this discussion with my children yesterday, with our children yesterday. And one thing I said was this, that social media is addictive. It's almost like being exposed early to drugs, right? It's you, the child's mind, or younger children's minds, it's not yet fully equipped to handle that level of emotions, that level of distraction, that level, they've not been able to build the required discipline to say, I'm not going to spend 26 hours a day on this, device, just looking at other people's pictures and statuses, right? So the best way I would say is reducing access is is the best way, in my opinion, right? Reducing access. So I know there are some applications there where, parents can manage how much screen time their children have. So yes, the children have a device, a phone, but there is, it's tied to a family account where the child can only have the screen time for, let's say, 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day. So in 1 hour, they could, chat with friends, check, statuses and whatever they want to check. But after the 1 hour, it's gone, right? And what that does for them really is it helps them to think about, I have this access for 1 hour. I'm going to use it for what I consider the priority things in that 1 hour. I won't just sit down and just forget time and just waste time on those devices. So I think it's all about restriction and managing it so it doesn't become a distraction.
I honestly, I couldn't agree anymore again, because like you said, social media can be so addictive. And I know we have some parents on the call, but also to our high flyers on the call. Honestly, you need to be intentional about minimizing the distraction that is a device, that is YouTube. The people that created YouTube, some of them don't even allow their own children spend so much time on these devices. So you want to be a creator. You don't just want to be a consumer, right? So it's really important that you realize that if you're not intentional about it, it can actually overwhelm you, as it were. So you really need to minimize, see it as a drug of some sort. So that is such a great point. Thank you so much, sir. And on behalf of everyone on the call, thank you all for staying right up to this point. Like everyone has stayed, literally. Thank you so much. Shay M said, my book is full tonight. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Shay M. So I'm going to be handing over to Tola now to close us out. Thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you very much, Ma. I don't know if it's okay if we take there's a question in the Q&A box. Yes, I don't know if Mr. Audio is still able to take it. Is it okay if I read it out to you, sir? Okay, what resources or support systems can students leverage to continue developing their strategic thinking abilities? This is from Bukola Ade.
Okay, so I mean, I think with that, one of the things I would say, it's probably a tricky answer, but it's one I think they could join the high flyer community, because within the high flyer community, there's quite a number of things that are being taught there and tools that are made available. But one of the things I think I mentioned as part of my presentation is the SQ 3R method, for example, of studying. There are other frameworks like that, you could use to help just, improve your overall effectiveness in studying, if studying is what you're thinking about from a strategic point of view. I could think of so many things that you could use strategy for or improve your strategy ability. You could even do a SWOT analysis of yourself. What are the things that I'm strong at? What are the things I'm weak at? What are the things I see as opportunities and potential, threats to my success? And if you use that to help yourself, again, as a little framework to help your overall sort of strategic thinking.
And can I just add to that actually? So Amos, I don't know if you don't mind me dragging you into this. One of the things we've actually been planning within the High Flyers community is a bit of an academy of sorts. So we want to take it beyond having these webinars, as it were. We actually want to do more with the children. Amos actually believes in a gap year program of sorts. But Amos, if I can have you just come on very quickly and talk to us about what this would look like, that would be amazing. Just very briefly, so our parents know what to look out for. We're still working on it behind the scenes, but since that amazing question has come up from our amazing parents, I just thought, you know what, let's talk about it here. So Amos, I don't know if you've been able to join in. Let me see. If you can speak, that would be amazing. Okay, he's not able to speak at this point in time. But what I will say is please just be on the lookout. If you've registered to be a part of this session this evening, you'll be getting emails from us. So please be on the lookout, because really and truly there are tons and tons of resources. But the way the High Flyers community is structured, everyone has their different pathways. The older you get, the more you begin to specialize, right? So we don't want to do a one size fits all. There's a STEM pathway and there's a support within the STEM pathway. But even within STEM, there are segments within STEM. So there are different routes, different pathways. So those are part of the things we're working on. Also exposing our young ones to a diversity of career options that are available, and just even also making them very innovative, because like someone once said, the careers that were available when you start university might not be the same careers available when you're done with university. So there's so many skill sets that you need to acquire within your pathway, and just the versatility that you need to have as a student and as someone who really wants to succeed in this day and age. So we're really excited about that package and that academy that we're going to be putting together. So please be on the lookout. It's amazing that we've had more parents join in and more high flyers, but we're wrapping up now. But not to worry, the replay is going to be made available. But please keep your eyes glued to our emails that you'll be getting from us. We're funneling those who have attended this particular event. So back to you, Tola. I almost said back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alu, and thank you so much, Mr. O, for this powerful session. I have my book here, and it's like so full. I mean, I feel like I should actually be an high flyer this evening. But thank you so much for this timely conversation that we just had, and it's really power packed. I feel like saying wow, 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 and just have many wowzers there. Thank you so much. I mean, I have it here in my book. One of the biggest takeaway for me is the fact that challenges are not setbacks, they are stepping stones. You know, the very obstacles we face can be the fuel that turns us into champions. And that's really, really, really great to hear that. It's all about thinking strategically and executing. That executing part took me like, whoa. So thank you so much. We've learned a lot this evening. And I encourage you all to, I don't know, I was about taking more notes, but then I thought, oh, there's a replay. So I can always go back to the replay and hear more of it. So please connect with us and let us know if you would need this replay. We would be happy to share it, with you. And if you are a parent of a 16 years old student or currently in their, sixth form, please do let them be part of this iFlyers community. We've heard it that it is important that you have a community that can help you and you can be able to network together, gain access to mentorship as well. It is very, very important. On the final note, I just want to say thank you all. Thank you for being a part of this session this evening, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one in April. And I trust it's going to be a very, very fantastic one. Thank you so much, everyone. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Bye, and happy 9th anniversary to Brains and Butter.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for being a part of the grand finale. Tola, you've been amazing. Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
Ma. Thank you, Ma.
Amazing. So we're going to be closing the room. Thank you so much, Mrs. Familusi. Thank you very much. Is that Mr. Miss Uche? Thank you so much. Shay M. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bukola Ade. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, QJ. We can see you. I better stop now because this is going to be on YouTube and we would want it to finish on
All right,
time.
Ma. Yes,
Bye.
Ma.
So I'll be
Thank you,
closing
Ma.
the room.